Well, if there was ever perfect evidence that these videos aren't edited, it's the fact that I'm showing up on camera looking like this. But I wanted to get this garden stroll in, doing this one Saturday evening. It has just stopped raining. I want to get this in because I'm busy tomorrow, which is where I start with this. If you are watching this on the morning of Sunday, June 9th, and you are in the southeastern Wisconsin, northern Illinois area, I am speaking at Northwind Perennial Farm this morning, Sunday morning at 10:30 a.m. I'm going to actually be planting up. I'm very excited that the gang down there is like trusting me with one of their gardens, but I'm going to be planting up a little bit of their picket fence garden with primarily annuals. There are some shrubs in there and a few other things, and some perennials, but it's mostly going to be an annual planting, and that's what we're going to be talking about. And that's why I'm standing in front of my trunk, because these are some of the plants that I'm bringing down there. Now I'm going to be getting a lot from Northwind as well, but these are some of the plants that are going down there. So if you are around and looking for something to do, it should be a very nice day. And I think there might be like a bakery who's also going to be there. Come to Northwind, hear me talk, say hello to me, please. And, you know, buy some plants while you're down there. Okay, let's go on a bit of a tour. There are interesting things happening to the left of me, and I don't think I'm going to show you, because you guys have to have some reason to come watch my videos, right? Yes, you do. Okay, these planters, oh, it does have something to do with that rack. These planters are looking great. I mean, gosh, you gotta love the sun patience. They're so good. I am looking forward to these sort of growing up so that this, I mean, I think this helichrysum looks best when it's sort of popping out of the inside of plants. But everything's looking good. Unfortunately, it's been blowing like nonstop from the west, and I'm gonna have to rotate this container because this whole willow is just got like a permanent list now. Hopefully you saw the video planting up this container. By the way, I say planting up, and now it's become a joke because I don't know where that phrase came from, why we started adding the up to it, but I say it sometimes in my garden column and just in talking, and my editor, it drives my editor absolutely nuts. And now I just say it all the time just to piss him off, basically. Okay, so hopefully you saw this. If you haven't, go back and watch us planting up this video. Planting this pot, not up, and planting the pot, not the video. It just, again, rained today. This is no different from when I planted this a day ago. Of course, it hasn't changed. I want to make our way over to the vegetable garden because I actually have done some work in there. Spent the better part of a day in the vegetable garden, and finally got that in shape, which I did not make a video of. This is new though, and I'm loving it. Some of you saw this if you follow me on Instagram at Impatient Gardener. I also have the account The Impatient Gardener, but that's not my main account. Impatient Gardener is the main account. This is my little sort of reflecting pool. You know, I've been talking about this. I've been talking about this quite a lot. And I did have another pot here that I used for floating flowers. My intention with this pot, which is a weathered steel, you know, Corten steel, but Corten is apparently a brand name, little did I know, is actually just like a really low profile fire pit that when I bought it on Etsy, I had them seal it up for me so it would be watertight. So this is my intention with it, is this. I'll just talk to you guys right now about the mosquito thing. There's more information coming on this. I'm using the Bonides mosquito beater packs. You just throw a little pouch in there. It's BT, and that kills mosquito larvae. We will see how this, you know, I need to refresh this water so it doesn't get scuzzy. We'll see how it wears practically, but it's a good look. And especially like, I don't know, I just love that, you know, this garden is so full, and I just feel like it's a restful moment in a very packed garden. The thistle that I pointed out in last week's video is still there. It hasn't magically gone away. Can you see way over there the Petasites? How am I saying that? pedicites. I only bring this up because mere moments ago, Nick McCullough, garden designer, author, etc., just tagged me and said, I bet mine's bigger than yours. So I went over here and I measured this leaf over here, and mine was bigger, 37 inches across on, here, I'll show you which one it was, on this leaf right here. This was the biggest one I found, 37 inches across on that. This one right here was 34. But that is a rhubarb leaf. That's rhubarb, you guys. Look at the size of that stem underneath there. And yes, it's flowering. I need to cut it off. But I don't know. Everything's huge this year. Okay, back to the vegetable garden. This is our beech tree. Still miss the one that fell right there. What was that, 2 years ago now? That was my favorite tree. Now there's, excuse me, plenty more to do in here, but we did get some things done, which is nice. So I finished up planting some of these beds. This is my little herb area, and you can't tell right now because it has to grow in, but I've sort of lined it in like a grid of bonsai basil, which is a new one from Burpee this year. It's really cute. So there's like this, see how there's like a little grid of it? And then put herbs in each of the little segments. Peppers down here. If anyone needs more peppers, I have too many. Cucumbers are going on this trellis. So I've got 3 planted on both sides, and I will have to train them up that A-frame. The garlic, we're just getting scapes. So this is this week, time to harvest garlic. Hey, if you guys have like a go-to thing that you do with garlic scapes, let me know, because I've tried different things. I haven't found a way that I like love them yet. So leave a comment for me if there is a way that you love to use garlic scapes. The sweet peas, I should get in here, most of them are doing really well. That's a nice thick stem on that. Actually, it's been perfect sweet pea weather. They should be happy. Okay, I got the stock tank pond all set up. I went up to, I used to buy lotuses online, and then I found a local place, semi-local place, Steiny's Ponds, Steiny something in Two Rivers. It's like a little over an hour drive for me. So once a year I drive up there. I bought a lotus, and I always like these little, I don't know what they call these, arrowhead plants or whatever. And then I wanted to get hornwort, which is what I have used as an oxygenating plant in the past, but they didn't sell it. And she's like, I don't even think we're supposed to have that in Wisconsin. And I've never had a problem getting it. But I said, well, I need oxygenating plants to keep the water clear and stuff. And she said, she goes, any floating plant will help. So this is lemon bacopa. And she said, and I said, it's not going to take over the pond, right? She said, no, it won't. Now I am going to get fish. Boy, it's warm in there already. I am going to get fish, as I usually do, but I don't have them yet. So I actually have not put BT in here yet, so I should get on that. But I did buy barley extract this year. So I'm going to try adding that to the water, and that should help. It's just like putting barley in. It just works a little faster. She said, you know, if you want to do organic, that's a good way to do it. So I am going to do that barley extract. So it's funny, though. They don't know what color most of the lotuses are. And so they have these little, like you can kind of see the white tag on there maybe. So she said, well, that one's a white one. So they mark them every year, but then the stems break off. So I went with white this year because I've had pinks before. Almost most years I have pinks. I thought, well, let's do something different. This was the herb bed last year, and so I have cilantro growing here. So I just leave that because you know how cilantro is. It's going to be gone soon. Tomatoes are planted. I do the, what they call the Florida, I should really need to weave actually, what they call the Florida weave method, where you basically just encase you know, do twine on both sides as they go up. Works really well for me. And I just moved this structure over to this bed because last year they were back here. Oh, look, who's been digging? Gosh, oh, rude. They're so rude. You guys, it's like National Geographic here. It's the Wild Kingdom here. I can't tell you how many weird critter things are going on. This is all squash and zucchini, and then lots of nasturtiums. Always seems to work very well in terms of keeping, I don't know, squash bugs away. Although last year I did deal with vine borer. Okay, and then over here, this is sweet potatoes. I don't know. They look, the instructions said, don't worry, they look terrible, just plant them. So I planted them, and look, someone's been, this is probably chipmunks. They're probably so happy that there's like disturbed soil. So this is all sweet potatoes. I did start pruning the Belgian fence. So, you know, my theory with espaliers is like, you gotta keep, I just prune them, like, I prune them a lot. I prune them all the time because otherwise they get overgrown and those stems harden off and then you really can't. You kind of lose them. So you'll see, so this is Royal Raindrops crabapple. And of course Royal Raindrops gets this beautiful purple foliage. And unfortunately, you know, when you prune, like this one, these I've pruned, you lose some of that purple foliage. It's still very pretty leaves. And sometimes I do think it'll get, I feel like it's gotten purpler later. I don't know if that's true or not. So you do lose some of that, but I would rather have this looking, you know, I would rather have this looking a little neater than having it, because pretty soon it just becomes a wall, right? And then I do have to go all along the top there, and we gotta nib her off at the top. I have a fair amount of, now you can see I always have to get a ladder because I can't prune the top one here. Oh, do we have a nest again? I think I took, maybe I left the nest in. We have a lot of apples. It's good, so far so good on apple harvest, on the apple crop. Better than usual. The pears, which is, this is a pear and that's a pear. There's nothing on that pear yet. It's not old enough to produce. This one, there's only a few and I almost always lose them to the squirrels. So that's the little, I need to get in here and put our clematis going the right direction. Interestingly, I have a clematis seedling over here. And I mean, obviously it's gotta be from that, right? So that's pretty fun. Then I've got another one. I don't know if I wanna dig him up and move him or leave him there, but kind of fun. That's my weeds. It's pretty, look, I put him in a wheelbarrow this week. Are you guys proud of me? A lot of you guys don't like my weed control method, and I get it. I'm trying to remember a couple of things that people have specifically asked me about, including we're gonna have to make sure we look at poppies because I've gotten a lot of questions about poppies. Okay, so there goes 2 robins. This is the Shasta daisies are all budded up here. The phlox, oh, you guys, phlox are pretty, but man, they must taste so good. Because boy, everything just eats them the second you turn your back. The Christophii are coming into flower. The allium, this is Allium Christophii. Not only beautiful now, but beautiful as they dry too. And then last year I planted a whole bunch of, I think it's purple flame, but I don't remember them being too purple this year. Whole bunch of irises right here along the water's edge, which is where irises should be, this kind. And look at how pretty, they're just starting to bloom now. And then a little bit of the forget-me-nots that always hang out down here in the creek did flower. Sometimes there's too much water and they don't flower, so that's quite nice. I'm looking over there and I see Monarda. It's funny because I bought Monarda. I thought Monarda would be great over there, and now I see I must have planted some there already. Do you guys recognize this? This is jewelweed, which is, as far as weeds go, the most innocuous. Some people love this. I know, like, this is like a prized native in some places. Here it grows in, you wouldn't believe how much it grows. Anyway, so easy to pull, and also I think it's not antiseptic. What is it? Like if you get, supposedly if you get poison ivy, you can cut this open and put that juice on the inside, and it's supposed to help. I don't want to know anything about having poison ivy, frankly. Okay, we've looked at this through several of other tours, but here is, I still have it every week. Got to take that dogwood out of its cage, but it is pretty, huh? This is Big Apple, and pretty good. Planted it last year, pretty good in terms of flowering and looking very healthy. Oh, hang on. I'm gonna circle back, but let me just take a walk this way quick because I think there should be something waiting for me. Look at pretty things while we walk. Oh, but you have to look this way because again, there are things on the path. Oh, okay, so where did that bird just come from? The wildlife. Oh, here we go. This is what I was looking for. This is going to be a sip and stroll now, folks, because this is my gin and tonic, which Mr. Muchmore patient said he would leave out for me. So remember, wine and weeds still exist. I just haven't done one for a while. But I thought a Saturday sip and stroll would be okay too. Okay, can you see what's at the end of the driveway here? The pagoda dogwoods are amazing. Just absolutely covered in flowers. I mean, they're just trying real hard not to get like my address sign in here, to be honest, because I don't want to have to blur it out. And it's weird to put your full-on address on the internet. They're just like amazing. I don't know that this one, by the way, lost a big chunk of it last year, so that's why you kind of doesn't look as full as the other one. Oops. Pretend you didn't see that. Anyway, just they're gorgeous. They're really, really gorgeous. The bronze fennel, probably time to start keeping that in check a little bit. Got a few seedlings that stuck. And you know, once they're there, they're pretty hard to get out. I love it. You just have to kind of keep an eye on those seedlings. All right, we're circling back now. Got some flower buds on the hydrangea arborescens over here, Haas Halo, and you guys, what's the other one I planted? Pink something. And we talked about viburnums last week. Okay, back to the wildlife. I was working over here. You can see, if you might be able to see a bird in the grass there. Oops, Mr. Muchmore patient did not close the garage. You might see this bird hopping around right by this hosta. This is a brown thrasher. And that brown, oh, are you kidding me even? You guys, why is the wildlife doing this to me? Okay, so I was over here starting to try to clean out the urn so that I could plant it, obviously. And all of a sudden, there's like this sound that sounds like an alarm coming out of the viburnum. And that brown thrasher comes out of this viburnum. They have a nest in there. And my college roommate, wildlife biologist, bird specialist friend tells me that they will violently protect a nest. So there's a chance I may not be able to actually plant this urn for a while if the thrashers won't, because I saw them hopping around in there, if the thrashers won't let me in there. So that's unfortunate. I'm hoping we can come to some sort of understanding that I promise not to go near their nest, but I don't know that they speak English, so. I think I showed you Dutsia last weekend, but look at that. This is the Proven Winners one. Whatever the white Proven Winners one is. Nico something. Anyway, awfully pretty. Awfully weedy. That little bugger. Oh, stop going in the garden. Do not stop there. Oh my God. He's probably gonna go in the greenhouse for all I know. Okay, so that is one bit of nature that's been happening here. We also seem to have something, I fear it's bats who are roosting on our back steps at night. I got a trail cam, we're gonna find out for sure tonight. Okay, this is what I wanna show you. I've been teasing up the great lady's mantle bloom for a long time, and it's here. And you guys, this is like right up there with like one of the best things I ever think I did in the garden was revamp this border completely on a whim, basically, and make this all the same thing. I think this looks so good. So down here, I do have some oh, you guys, it's a sedum. You're gonna have to just let my brain think about that one for a while. And then I just in this little area, because I didn't, well, actually I could have kept going, to be honest. Maybe I should have, but it'd be easy enough to move that. I wonder why I did that, actually. Well, there was some reason why I did that, I guess. Anyway, then we've got all this lady's mantle. We've got the beautiful cat's meow nepeta, which, what is this, 3 weeks at least that this one's been blooming with zero sign of being, I guess this one's starting to split a little bit, and that's it. And then we've got these alliums coming up through here, which are just like primo. So I couldn't be more happy with this whole edge. I think that is such a good look. Now the lady's mantle, I can cut back either I usually just cut back the flowers. You can cut it back all the way just to get a reflush of leaves, which is kind of nice because they do get a little ratty later in the year. The nepeta I can cut back, but it's just also, look at all the raindrops on there. So pretty. Anyway, it's just nice. It's nice when something comes together so well, you know? Poppies. I was going to talk to you about poppies. Well, there's a lot of them over here. So the poppies are starting. A lot of people want to know, where are the poppies? What's happening with poppies? So there are different sizes. There's some coming up over here. We've got some nice ones. Like right here, these will be the first to bloom right here on this corner. I've been thinning those out a little bit. We've got a few little ones right here. I did do some planting here this morning, and I put in right here, these look like nothing. In fact, they look worse than nothing. They look like weeds. This is Origeron, Mexican fleabane. This is the flower on it. Some people, in some areas, this is kind of a weed. Like in California, this might even be like close to a weed. But it's just the prettiest little clump of flowers. Very kind of, you know, natural looking. So I'm hoping this kind of fills in this corner. And then we'll see how this works. I put curly parsley right along this edge. So we're gonna have maybe a little mini hedge of curly parsley. I planted some more Salvia argentea in here because I will never be without that plant. This is one from last year that came back, and you can see it's full of flower stalks. And it will bloom obviously very soon. Big, huge, white, beautiful flowers. The plant is kind of worthless after it blooms, to be honest. I will try cutting it back, but it doesn't work well. My gosh, talk about burying the lead, you guys. This is burying the lead. God, how did I just walk by this like 3 times without talking to you about it? Check out this. Rosy teacups, Cornuscusa rosy teacups. And now we're pretty much at peak. And in addition to this tree having great form, which is that sort of tiered dogwood form, this just is so stunning. I'm obviously quite taken with it. It's nice that we can kind of look down on it from the deck a little bit, so we get to see it kind of from down there. But I do love it, although this blue globe spruce needs pruning. It's getting a little weird, and it's hard to prune, kind of. The blue with the pink is a pretty darn good combination there. That is, boy, just rosy teacups, you keep doing your thing. It's so pretty. I think I might need to brace up this branch a little bit more because it's starting to come out kind of at a funny angle, but maybe not. Anyway, there's rosy teacups, and that is the main thing I should have been showing you the whole time, because that's just, what more do you want out of a tree? Should I stop talking about it now? I'm waxing a little bit poetic here. Okay, good. We've been there, we've done that. Penstemon coming up here, gonna flower soon. That's Midnight Masquerade. That's a really good variety. All the Veronicas along here are thinking about, well, they're budding up anyway. This is Dark Reader geranium. It seeds all over the place, like over there. And that's fine with me. Verbascum came back. I was thinking it was a biennial, so it wasn't gonna come back because last year was 2 years. Maybe these are seedlings? I don't know. Let me know what your experience with that are. It's the white one. Snowy Towers, maybe? Earth Angel Hosta eating up that bed. Did a little bit of changing around over here. Last year I got some tiny quickfire. Actually, I got one tiny quickfire as a sample, and then I bought 2 more because I just loved them. But they struggled a little bit, and I think it's partly because they got kind of trapped behind other plants, and they're so little that they're really front of the border shrubs. So I pulled those out and replanted those here. And then last year I planted this area up with annuals, and I liked it a lot. Just this little corner right here. And I found an annual that I have been looking for ages, and this is this tiny petunia. I saw this growing at the gardens at Ball, and I thought it's a huge spreader or a draper. You can also put in a container, it will drape really nicely. It's itty bitty. That's what it is. It's itty bitty. This color is magenta. There's a light pink and a white as well, I believe. But it covers the ground, and it looked to me, it was like a fall blooming, like ground cover phlox. That's what it looked like. So I'm hoping this will fill in. I mean, this magenta is not really my color, to be honest. But I just think that's pretty. And then I put in some Silene Sabella Carmine, which those are the flowers on that. Which should also get real bushy. First time growing that, grew it from seed, first time growing it. I don't know how well that's gonna last through the heat of summer. It might kind of get depressed about that. And then I put some, which ones? Queenie Lime with Blotch zinnias that I started from seed, obviously, in the back there. So, well, maybe we'll add things to that. I don't know. This is a bush honeysuckle that someone gave me years ago. It just blooms with white. It's just kind of pretty. I don't know, I just let it do that, and then it's done. Here's a little dianthus popping up. Oh, and there's like a really big jewel weed and a very happy, this is that flavorette apple or apricot rose. Doing well, actually. Well, hello, wherever you are, chirping at me. It's rained so much that even the ligularia that's in the sun is happy. Beautiful foxglove. Gosh, I love foxgloves. They're so pretty. They're really, really stunning. Check out how this ajuga that I planted here last year. Okay, this is one of my favorites. This is black scallop. But holy smokes, is black scallop more aggressive than chocolate chip? Because this one's already running into the grass. I mean, that's great. I'm all for it. I can keep it out of there. But I'm shocked at how much that has grown in this year. Actually, enough that I'll start, pulling some out and moving it around a little bit. But that's gorgeous. Geranium macrorrhizum, yada, yada, yada. Is it a garden tour without that? So far I've kept that bunny and the deer from eating my little beacons and patience. This area I feel like is already growing in from when you probably saw it in the video if you watched it. Looking pretty good here. Oh, there's that. You think it's the same one, guys? Oh, look at it. You see that? Look at that little bugger. Oh, great. By all means, just go in there and eat whatever you want. Bye. Well, you can see this garden. This garden got planted in a video that's not edited yet, but I should say replanted, because that's what we were doing there. And I think, I mean, a lot of this stuff we've talked about already, and I think I've been droning on a little bit too much. So that's what's looking good right now. Trying to think if there's any other plants that anybody asked about specifically wanting to see. You can put your requests in, by the way. Ooh, 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 ooh. Look at this allium. Burperium? No, that's something else with a B. Look at that. That is cool. Oh, happy about that. Onondago is faded out a little bit now. Not as pretty as it was last week, but still cooking. All right, gang, sorry for the way I look here. Hope you're having a great day in your garden. Thank you for watching these videos and all my videos. I appreciate that. Oh, my hand's sore. Gardening injury from carrying the camera around. Let me know what's happening in your garden. And we'll see you here next week. Cheers.